Hello. For today's Try It section, we first started off looking at this blue array here. Okay, the question was write an addition sentence representing the array. Okay, so we would look at that top row. We see that we've got 3 dots in the top row. And how many times do we see this? So we've got 3 plus 3 more plus 3 more. So we would just write that out as a sentence. So we would have 3 plus 3 plus 3. Oops, we want a plus sign there. Plus 3 equals 9. Okay, so 3 plus 3 equals 9. Okay, the next step was to write it as a multiplication sentence. So we really are asking ourselves, how many times do I see the group of 3? So I see 3 times I see the group of 3. So I'm going to write that as 3 times groups of 3, which equals 9. Okay, and of course, the answers to both of these are the same because there are only 9 dots. It doesn't matter if I'm looking at them as adding them together or multiplying. Okay, the next question was, does this array show a square number? Okay, so a square number is represented whenever you have the same number of rows as you do columns. So here you can see I've got 3 rows and I have 3 columns. So yes, this does represent a square number. And you can see it makes a perfect square, right? All the sides are the same, right? That is a square. So this is, yes, this represents a square number. Okay, the next one was the purple array. And you had the same questions. Okay, so the first one was asking you to write an addition sentence representing the array. Okay, so first let's look at how many dots you had in that first row. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 6 dots going across. And how many times do you see that? So you've got 6 first times plus 6 more plus 6 more. So as an addition sentence, it looks like this. You've got 6 plus 6 plus 6, which equals 18. Okay, so now the next one, they want you to write it as a multiplication sentence. So the multiplication sentence is just asking you, how many times do I see the number 6? So I see 3 times I see the number 6. There's the first time in that top row, the second time in the middle row, and the third time in the last row. So I would say 3 times that I see the number 6. So I would write 3 times 6 equals 18. And of course, my answers to both the multiplication and the addition one are the exact same because there are only 18 dots. Okay, the last one says, does this array show a square number? So are there the same number of rows as there are columns? And we can see that that's not the case because there are 3 rows and there are 6 columns going up and down, right? So this is not a square number, so my answer would be no. Okay, for today's work, what you're going to do, you're going to print out the sheets of graph paper, and you're going to create arrays by just coloring in the squares for the numbers. So if you got the number like 8, there's more than one way to make an array for the number 8, right? You could do it as a 2 by 4, so 2 wide and 4 down. You don't have to write it twice or color it in twice and make one that's also 4 across and 2 down because that's the same array. You could just turn your paper sideways, right? So the 2 by 4 would be 1, and the other way to do it would be 1 by 8. So just like a stick, right? 1 by 8. Okay, so that's 2 different ways to do the same number. So what you're doing, you're thinking about all the possible factor combinations for a number when you're making the arrays. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing today. Some of them will look like squares whenever you do it. So that would mean that that number is a square number. Some of them will just have one way to make it. And if there's only one way to make it, that means there's only one set of factors, which is the definition of a prime number, right? So sometimes they'll be prime numbers, sometimes they'll be composite. If you can make it more than one way, it's a composite number. All right, good luck with today's assignment.